What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Good to see you all again. Let's talk about Bed Bath & Beyond. We'll cover some of the filing. We'll look at the charts. We'll look at the Ortex, see kind of what that's going to lay out for us, and we'll go from there. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It's just for entertainment purposes only, so let's be entertained. All right, I thought it'd be interesting just to start off with the filing. Filing says up to 12 million shares of common stock have been agreed upon to enter into an open market sale agreement. So we know that there will be at least 12 million shares that will be hitting the market at some point. So is that going to slow down some of the progress? I would think so. I mean, 12 million's not really that large of amount, but I haven't read this in full detail yet, but I was just kind of skimming through it. And it does indicate that there could possibly be more shares than just the 12 million. So it says future issuance of debt securities by us may adversely affect the market price of our common stock. As of August 30th, 2022, we have an aggregate of 79,779,205 shares of common stock authorized but unissued and reserved for issuance under our incentive plans, as well as 258,521,189 Treasury shares. We may issue or move out of Treasury as applicable all of these shares of common stock without any action or approval by our stockholders, subject to certain exceptions. So there is a risk of more than just 12 million shares. I mean, that could be the start. That's probably their initial game plan. But we'll see just how many of those shares actually come into play. If it's more than 12 million, then that's a lot more that would have to be eaten up by the market than just overall just saying 12 million, because we know that on those high volume days it was pumping plenty more than that in just a single candle. So not out of the water, I would say. It also goes into saying that there are extreme fluctuations in the market price of trading volume in our common stock, and basically it's due to reports of strong retail investor interest, including on social media and online forums. And so it's saying invest in our common stock at your own risk. We caution you against investing in our common stock unless you are prepared to incur the risk of incurring substantial losses. So there's plenty of things that could go wrong. They're not out of the water yet, but like this has mentioned, there is a lot of retail activity and a lot of retail interest around it. So they're just saying it could fluctuate up or it could fluctuate down, but we just need to be on guard for what could actually go on as far as all of that fun stuff that will be in the very near future. So if you're still in it, you will have all of that to look forward to. Looks like the shorts probably like what's going on right now, because it looks like they are increasing as we sit on the live short interest percent of the free float, clocking in at 36.69%, up about 4.97%, and the live short interest is coming in at 28.36 million, so up another 1.34 million. Cost to borrow, I think, had a little bit of an increase. I think it was 17 something yesterday, if I'm not wrong. Average today is 18.98%, so going up just a little bit there. 100% utilization still. So let's see, we're on the threshold list still have some failed to delivers out there. Will they deliver? Probably, whenever the price gets to a point where it's going to make sense for them. Right now, shorter time frame, we're just watching it kind of bop around. I got this trend line drawn just for the shorter time frame for a couple days to look at, bouncing in between this here trend line and this here trend line. I still fully believe that it is going to drop out of here and fill that gap. Like I said, don't get too excited at $8.20 until you see how it's going to respond from there. And the other thing we have to kind of think about is, where are those shares going to come into the market whenever Bed Bath & Beyond's third party starts selling those off? What price point are they looking to get that's going to probably hinder a lot of the strong volatile upward movements, I would think, if they are actually selling them in as the price is climbing. they might see it spike and then hit it on the way down. We don't really know, but only one person's going to know that, and you'll kind of be able to see it, I'm going to assume, in the charts whenever heavy selling volume comes into play. So what I'm looking for still is $8.20. I want to see if it's going to bounce off of there, or if it's going to drop through. So I would probably look for a reversal when it's starting to come back up, even if, if it drops through and comes back up that $8.20 range. Instead of trying to guess the bottom, I just like to go with the momentum, with the crowd, what way it's going. So even if it drops down to 750, I don't want to catch every penny. I will watch it try to fight its way back up that 70 cents and show me that it is making a different direction overall. But that's just my way of trading. If you guys want to guess the bottom, or you find good entries, then by all means. I can't tell you how to trade. I just try to share some of the things that I would look for. Right now, riding low on this trend line. We'll see how it wraps up. There's about 28 minutes left in the trading day as of right now. So is it going to bounce, or is it going to fall through? I'm thinking probably going to fall through, but we'll just keep an eye on that, see how it goes. I know it's still like 50 cents away from here, 55 cents. So it has a little bit of room still to go. It'll get a little hang up probably around the low, and we'll just see what happens in after hours, or even in pre-market. I think if it opens up somewhere close to there, it might finally actually fill that gap, and then we'll just see where the crowd takes it from there. Let's look at the RSI. You can see it's cooling off. Here's technically our high point where my cursor is. You can see that it's setting lower highs. So right here a little bit lower, right here a little bit lower. Still hasn't turned around, so setting those lower lows as well. So ultimately RSI buying pressure just kind of cooling off so far on the shorter time frames. On the longer time frames, it's trying to gain just a little bit of strength, which I guess could make sense if it's going to bounce right here. We could probably see it work its way back up, and we'll see if it gets rejected somewhere in this $9.40 range. Just kind of cleaned up the charts a little bit. Somebody said they couldn't see things. I apologize for that. I try to call out all of the numbers that I'm looking at. So if you are watching the videos, then you'll definitely hear the numbers. But right now, I'd like to really see it reclaim $9.89. I know it's a long way from here, especially if we're talking down here, but to the upside, get a look. Reclaim $9.89 and get that strength to the upside. To the downside, you already know what I'm watching, $8.20. We've hit the low of $8.16 in pre-market one day, so maybe it'll get a little bit of strength there, or it could possibly continue to get hammered on down. So we're just gonna hang out and watch. What I would say is lotto calls are probably not the wisest to play right now, because we know that there is going to be an offering, and those are going to be sold into the market that might hamper some of the volatile upward movements. So if you're just throwing your money at the wind, I would play this level to level. I would be playing, in the money or at the money, calls or puts, whichever way you guys are playing it, and just kind of roll those. Take a little, roll it, take a little, roll it, just see how it's responding. You could get surprised. We've had plenty of surprises, and they're just telling us that there's going to be some more surprises. So we don't want to get caught. Nobody wants to get caught holding the bag and just kind of playing around. So just have a trading plan. Like I've said before, I try not to hold any options overnight. You guys do what you want. If the risk is what you want to take, then by all means you're welcome to take it. But with the shares, it's a different story because you can control those. So that's what I'm looking at right now, is just with the news, what's going on in the backgrounds, how's that going to affect the play. It still seems to have a lot of hype around it. I was looking on it. It's got quite a bit of mentions as far as Wall Street Bets and internet tags and everything. So I mean, the attention is still here. It just depends on whenever it can actually make that break to the upside again. So just hanging out, watching it overall. As far as our channel, we're still falling down in it. Has not made a breakout yet, so going to keep an eye on that to see when that actually comes into play, and we will just go from there. So as far as market open tomorrow, if we're still in this channel, I'm looking for $8.83 as a high, and then as a low, I couldn't tell you. It just depends on how ugly things get, if it gets ugly. As far as the high side goes, I guess we could be anywhere up to about $9.30 if it wanted to play that game. So that's what I'm watching for. That's what I will be keeping an eye on. And we will go from there. Thank you guys for coming back and watching another one. I appreciate it. If you don't mind, you can drop a like, leave a comment, or you can always subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the updates. I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.